Meeting come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father God, we gather today with gratitude for the opportunity to serve Bourbon County. We seek your wisdom and guidance as we deliberate on the business matters before us. Grant us clear minds and a spirit of unity as we will work together for the good of all Bourbon County. We ask that you bless this meeting and the commission, and today we pray and we may ask for this and glorify all that in your name. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Welcome to the July 14th Bourbon County Commission meeting. We ask that if you're going to have private conversations, step out in the lobby. Please turn all your phones off or down, one of the two. We encourage public participation. We ask that you sign up for public comments, either for or items that are on or not on the agenda. We encourage both criticism and attaboys, whatever you want to call it. But we ask that you keep it respectful, and welcome again to the meeting. We'll get started. I move that, approval of the agenda. Are there any corrections?
I have corrections.
We'll start with you.
Thank you. So on old business, I want to put hospital equipment update on there.
Old business.
Yep.
Hospital equipment.
Yep.
Can you piggyback on that? I just don't,
Yep.
you know, I haven't thought about it.
And then I'd like to add budget advisory committee to old business as well.
If you want to piggyback on the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was gonna talk about it, but I got some emails with some pictures that I think would benefit both of you.
Okay. Next.
Contractual services for payroll and benefits under the new.
Under me.
Mm-hmm. And we need to do an executive session for non-elected. Your choice whether you do it at the beginning or the end. It's up to you.
You can do it right before old business.
Ready for old business?
Yeah, 5.5. You said non-elected.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Tran.
Yeah, I would like to add, let's just call it that. Let's just call it commissioners, trying to think of decent word for it. I know what I'm not talking about, it's roles and responsibilities.
Okay.
We'll just use that.
The new business rules and
Yes.
responsibilities. Okay. I have one. I would like to remove juvenile, actually I got, well, no, we'll go with that one. I want to remove juvenile detention from old business as is still under review. And that's all I have.
Chairman, may I address the commission?
What's that?
May I address the commission?
Sure.
Is there a reason why we're not giving me notification so that I can properly do the agenda? I would assume that these were all items that were planned on today at least. I could have revised the agenda.
My thing was, I was on the road.
Okay.
and I spoke
We-
to Dr. Cullen.
You can call me.
No, I understand that, and that's my bad.
Yeah.
That's my bad. For the one I added, because I was talking to Dr. Cullen
Okay.
about certain things, and I was like, well.
Perfect.
So.
Okay. Thank you. In the future, please feel free to call.
Absolutely.
Okay, I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second. Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn.
Yes.
Okay. I move the approval of the minutes from July 7th, 2025 and July 10th, 2025.
I believe it needs edits.
Huh?
I believe there's edits that are needed.
Okay.
Let's see, I sent it to the lawyer.
For both or just one?
Just one.
Okay.
Which would be,
Oh, hold on just a moment. Let me bring it up. It is the 7/10/25, where it says Commissioner returned at 6:18, moved to return to normal session, state, and then there's quoting, stating no action because, it goes on. Bob says that just needs to say, no action.
They're your minutes. You wanting me to change that?
yes. You, okay, I move that we make changes to 7/10/2025 minutes as presented by Commissioner Milburn, and that we approve the minutes for 7/7/25 as distributed.
Second.
7/7,
7/7.
7/7, and 7/10 minutes.
Yeah, I said 7/10 is edited by Commissioner Milburn, and then 7/7 as distributed.
Second.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer.
Yes. I move that we approve the consent agenda, approval of accounts payable totaling $340,199.13. Payroll totaling $310,058.97.
54. Sorry, 54, because we're going to record it.
54.
Yes.
And additional payroll totaling $1,109.38 for July the 11th, 2025. Further motion for approval of tax corrections and acceptance of K-State Certificate of Proper Functioning.
I have, when going over this, we have a phone under IT, and we need to make sure, that that's just not reoccurring. If it's the bill this month, it's the bill, but we need to make sure it doesn't reoccur.
May I see what the phone number is? Does it have it on there?
I don't know. Does it have it on there?
That's for malware, that's not for a phone.
So is it a phone that we need to,
He does not have a phone under the county's, under our IT.
who's carrying?
Can I
A
see it?
Verizon?
Card services. Card services is a credit card.
Well, card services.
So who's
It's on Apple.
so who's funding it, or who's buying the malware, and what's it for?
That was part of his IT. Whenever we needed the malware, whatever updates, that was part of his
Okay.
responsibilities.
So are we buying that now?
I don't know. There's not been any,
But is that, okay, then my next question, may I please? So is that malware something that's occurring quarterly, monthly?
I would have to look at the
We got
actual detail
some
of it.
emails stating we were doubling up on some things today, so.
So we got emails from Stronghold saying this?
No.
No, there's CanRen. There was a CanRen bill that came through today, and I told my AP clerk to please send the information to the commissioners because I noticed that Stronghold pushed out a Zoom meeting, or whatever. And so there's no reason to pay for both services. I think it's probably cheaper through CanRen, just something that needs to be checked into, so that's why the email was sent out.
Okay.
What does proper functioning mean
Proper, I don't.
in the consent agenda?
I couldn't print the copy of that certificate on this.
Relation.
It is something they,
It relates to their Southwest-
extension
Southwind
service.
Extension.
Oh, the extension.
This is ma-
Gotcha.
that malware stuff, usually when you buy them, they're reoccurring. Commissioner Milburn,
What's that?
usually on those malware purchases, they're reoccurring.
I just don't want to double up on things.
Yeah, I understand that, but what I'm telling you is, you might wanna dig into that, because that may come back up again next month, next quarter. Cause they're usually on a subscription.
Before you leave, is there a way you can get all the expenditures from the IT department? I mean, what the monthly expenditures?
well, that's why the email was prompted today, is who is handling those expenses
Well,
now.
if we could get a copy of all that, we could, and then turn it over to Commissioner Milburn. She is working with Stronghold and with HR right now.
Okay,
on the
we can
IT
do that, that's no
department.
problem. Well, I won't know
Okay.
what they are until they come through.
Okay.
I mean, that's the best I can do. And if it's reoccurring, it'll hit the card until,
So-
and I won't have access to turn off those charges.
Okay, so, alright, just questioning.
Okay.
So IT does not have an Excel spreadsheet or any type of spreadsheet highlighting all their expenditures or any of their monetary functions,
Not that the county clerk would have.
right?
That would be something that would need to be discussed with IT. So,
Okay, alright. Thank you.
She worked with HR on that too.
we have right here on the consent, and
And you
I
gotta,
don't know if they wanted to approve a payment.
moving on.
Are we waiting on the payment for IT then, for the phone?
On that malware,
No.
We're paying it?
ma'am?
Yeah,
Are we
I would,
paying
I
or
would
not?
think, if it's a recurring expense,
We just need to find out what we
Yeah.
have doubled up on.
recurring
Yeah.
expense, we'll just go ahead, yes.
So we will-
If
Approved
you-
in
you're-
that AP, right.
Okay, so this leads me to my next question. Whoever pays that bill should have the authority to talk to the company and say what, and get the nuances of that bill. If I'm paying somebody's credit card and it's on my card and I'm paying that card, I should be able to call up whoever XYZ and say, what is this for? How long is this going on? Blah, blah, blah. Because I have these things in my personal account. And being me, I'll forget it's an annual subscription. It'll show up and I'm kind of like, oh, what's going on? I call them, they tell me what it is. Make sense? So I'm not saying one way or the other, but we need to be able to do a deep dive on
Yeah,
that, at the very
that's
least.
what
It's
we're
a
trying to
credit
find out.
card. So the credit card is actually, when we do credit cards, they're actually issued to the person. So if I have a credit card with the county, it's issued to Susan. And so therefore, I am the one that speaks on that behalf. My AP clerk, all she can do is go in and say, okay, we're going to dispute this charge. But the person, whoever set it up to begin with, all we can do is go in and we can cancel the card, which has already been done in this instance. So that's all we can do.
Whose card was it?
It said Walker on it.
All right,
Okay.
all right, okay, thank you. So it still goes back to the question, do you want the clerk to pay it? Or just,
Well, I don't know what it,
Even though they've been approved, these checks don't get sent out till tomorrow morning
okay,
because you have to look at them and
Right.
here. So if we need to pull it, we need to void it, we can.
Does it say the time frame on there when
no. It'd just be nice to know what we're paying for. And that we're not doubling up on services.
That's all things that can be requested ahead of the meeting. Also, if you ever wanna look at it, review it, invoice.
Pretty sure these went out on Friday, so.
I think moving into the future, I think when we find things like this, looking at both sides of the fence, this is my personal take on it. looking on both sides of the fence, like, we need to come together as a team and figure this stuff out and avoid this at the table. Because the thing is, I don't think anybody's trying to hide anything. I don't think anybody's trying to do a gotcha moment. It's kind of like, at this point in time, there's a budget coming up, and we're trying to pinch every penny that we can, because it's gonna come down to that. And that, I think that's what Commissioner Milburn is trying to
And we
say.
did get an email
And
today
I can-
saying
And I
we're
think that's
doubling
what
on
the clerk is also
services.
trying to
I can talk a little bit on this too, as why you said you got it Friday. So AP cannot be ran, last week was a payroll week.
Okay.
AP cannot be ran until payroll is completed. Payroll took 3 times as long because I was down for a day and a half.
Yes, ma'am.
All department heads knew that. So with that being down, we weren't able to get AP out in a timely manner because payroll wasn't done, because I didn't have a computer. So payroll, AP are usually sent out Wednesday afternoon every day, or every week at 12:30, and that couldn't happen. So it could have gave you a little bit more advance to look that over. You said you received it Friday. That's why you received it Friday.
Okay, I'm good, thank you. Do you have anything, ma'am?
Not today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the consent agenda. You wanna exclude that for further research, or?
No, we need to get it all in line though.
Okay, yeah. I move that we approve the consent agenda approval of accounts payable totaling $340,199.13. Payroll totaling $310,054.97. Additional payroll totaling $1,109.38. Tax corrections, acceptance of the K-State certificate of proper functioning for July 11th, 2025.
Second?
Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran.
Yes.
Okay, next up is R&R certification to the county clerk. That's you, sir? They didn't have a name with it.
Make sure your mics are on. They're saying they can't hear
My mic's on.
We can't hear back here either.
you. They just need you
Be louder.
to check your mouth.
How about
Check your
now?
mouth, not your mouth.
I didn't have my mic on.
So today we have to, well, by the 16th, which is Wednesday, we have to announce that we're either going to go revenue neutral or we're going to not go revenue neutral. And so and then this certification has to be signed and submitted to the clerk, saying that we're not going to go revenue neutral if that's what you decide. And then a budget hearings need to be set
Right.
for the commission to, and that's got to be done by the 20th of September. And then the final budget has to be submitted to the clerk by October 1st. So the committee that you appointed, the Budget Advisory Committee, our plan is to, based on the date you set for a public hearing, have all the data that you guys need to make decisions on, final budget decisions, so that, and our intent is to get that information to you in a significant time period before that hearing, so that you can ask clarifying questions of us for that hearing. And then you'll have the public hearing, and then the final budget will be set, and then that'll be submitted to the clerk by October 1st. So the Budget Advisory Committee has been working on big picture stuff. And then after we decide on what will be the maximum mill, or whether it will be revenue neutral, then we're going to dive deeper into the details of the budget to see where we can create efficiencies and savings. So that's kind of how the timeline lays out, and what we're thinking about, and what we're doing. So here's a handout on what the committee decided That's yours.
Oh, well, I'll pass one to her.
Okay. Keep passing them down. So here's essentially what the Budget Advisory Committee decided. We consulted together on the report to the commission. So we all came into the Budget Advisory Committee with a preference towards revenue neutral if we could. And if not revenue neutral, keeping the mill levy as low as we possibly could. Once we got into the details of the audits, we reviewed audits for the last 4 years, and we reviewed the 2025 budget, and we've now reviewed the first draft of the 2026 budget. So we've gone through 6 years' worth of data, which was a lot for this committee. In order to do that more efficiently, we've divided and conquered. So we've had certain of the people on the committee go through certain line items in the budget, and we've covered basically all the major budget items through that process. The committee has, almost everybody in that committee has an accounting degree, banker, an accountant, and are used to working with audits. And if those audits are not clean, it gives you great pause when you're going through the budget numbers. Are these numbers real? And I think we need to commend the people in this building. Everybody contributes to that because our audits are absolutely clean, and especially the county clerk. She has delivered clean audit after clean audit after clean audit. We have reviewed audits from other counties that are similar to us in the vicinity, and those audits are problematic. There are mistakes, there are statute violations, and if we were working with those audits, you just don't know if what you're working with is real. So that is something that every employee in the county needs to be commended for. There's been a few things like missing credit card receipts and things like that, but fairly minor. But the integrity of the numbers is good, and the committee has appreciated that. So the reason we've decided that we can't go revenue neutral is because we're playing catch up. And some of the major areas that we're playing catch up is we've run down the cash reserves of the county such that we're in a position where if we needed to go to the markets for a bond issue, let's say we wanted to fix the courthouse or expand the courthouse or anything that you can think of, we needed, maybe we wanted to advance our road and bridge agenda, take care of some roads. We probably right now could not get bond approval. If we did get bond approval, it'd be at a much higher rate because our cash reserves are so depleted. And so that needs to be addressed. We need to, and it's probably not going to happen in a year. We need to start building our cash reserves back to where they were several years ago. We've also robbed Peter to pay Paul in that previous commissions had set a plan to do replacement reserves for public works equipment and other departments. And in order to balance the budget, we have not made those transfers to those reserves for equipment replacements. So when a major piece of equipment in public works breaks down, we don't have any reserves to take care of that equipment. We just simply have to come up with the cash in that particular budget year. And that's not efficient. We need to go back to making sure we do the reserve transfers, and we need to catch up on those kinds of things. And that's going to take some effort and some time. Also, the landfill has a sinking fund requirement that's by statute, and the public works budget is covering that. The landfill needs to cover that. That's another area that we're behind. And of course, we've learned that we probably have $1 million in deferred maintenance in the courthouse that needs to be addressed. So those are the kinds of things that we continually encountered that made us understand that we could not go revenue neutral. And in fact, we're going to be fighting to keep the mill levy where it is. Now, we're going to do everything we can to change that. But just in the broad overview of the budget, those are the kinds of things that we've encountered. So, and then we have some cost increases coming that are out of the control of this commission. Liability insurance, health insurance, property and casualty insurance are all going up at dramatic paces. And it's not just for us, it's nationwide. And so those kinds of things we're faced with in the coming years, that we're gonna have to plan for. And it's gonna make holding the mill levy down extremely difficult, so. We have interviewed virtually every department head and every elected official in the building, and we talked to individual employees too, besides that. And the committee's been very impressed with the quality of the employees in this building. We have good people, and we have people that serve the public. And that's been a breath of fresh air for us as committee members, so that's something that we wanted to point out, so. The draft 2026 budget that we received after everybody's testimony and submitted their budget calls for a 6 mil increase. The budget committee, now that's a maximum recommendation. The budget advisory committee was not willing to go that high. After a discussion and a consideration of all the data, the maximum budget that we could recommend was a 62.5 mil compared to the 59.9. And so that's our recommendation to the commission, that we adopt that as a maximum rate and then work to lower that rate between now and September 20th or October 1st with the goal of not raising the mill at all and perhaps lowering it if we can. But we're facing a lot of headwinds. So that's the recommendation of the Budget Advisory Committee, that we set the mill maximum at 62.5 today and then work to get that number down over the next several months. What questions do you have?
I have a question.
Just a second,
What?
just a second. We'll
I got it.
get to the public in just a minute.
I'm trying to digest it.
Trying to digest. Yeah, and I saw what you shared with us today on emails. 2 days we got to decide on this, right? Yeah. Short. We should have hired you, or made that committee at January.
Yep,
Yeah.
that would have been, February is probably ideal
Yeah,
to start
yeah,
that. We just
yeah.
had a short period of time.
Yeah, you guys did great. Thank you.
I think what everybody in the room and everybody in the county has to remember is this is just a maximum rate.
Right, right.
No one in this room wants that rate to be set at 62.5. Well, maybe Jason does, but nobody else wants that rate set.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing everything we can to make sure that rate is lower.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things out of our control here, too.
Yeah.
To me, the elephants in the room is we don't have enough money and we're spending it. We're spending.
Yeah, I think that's right, but the problem didn't start this year.
Right, right.
It's an accumulation of robbing Peter to pay Paul, lowering the mill and balancing the budget by doing things that hide the fact that you're out of money, lowering the cash reserves. Nobody knows that, right?
Not
Not having equipment reserves funded. Nobody thinks about that.
Well, I think the cash reserve was thought about not the commission that started in January, but the commission prior to that. Because I remember being here, they were talking about it, and it was just, they felt that they could go ahead and dwindle it down. So, I'm not trying to poke the bear, I'm just saying, I agree with Mr. Motley,
we
this
are
stuff
where,
started
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, we are where we are.
Right.
And, I mean, like with the $1 million deferred and maintenance on the courthouse, as the maintenance gentleman pointed out, that can was kicked down the road, you know, year after year, and now we're at a point where we probably got to do something about it.
Well,
And when you don't have money, then you got to, I mean, I don't want to do this either, but,
as somebody who does that, not kick the can, somebody who does the maintenance thing. Yeah, we have a little over $1 million worth of unfunded maintenance that we need to take care of. But let's go, we're not gonna fund $1 million worth, let's just, if we're gonna talk, let's talk about that. We don't have $1 million to put into the courthouse, but we may be able to find $100-something thousand to fix that elevator. That's the starting point. The point here is, there's an old saying, poop or get off the pot, right? We gotta do it. So set something in stone. Let's start with the building, say we're gonna fix at least the elevator. Let's fix the elevator. What's our next priority for next year? We fund that next year. We have to have a plan. I've been asking for.
Well, that's what, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
We-
but I'm saying
you
from
know.
our standpoint.
Right.
What Mr. Miley's talking about is true, but I'm saying from our standpoint, the three of us have been asking for information. We're not getting the information we need. So if we're not gonna get it, let's just start formulating. I know you're doing it. I'm trying to do it. I know you're trying to do it, but I'm saying let's just get something concrete out there. Cause to me, it's like we already funded the repair, okay? I haven't got a status update on the repair, but we need to go do that $100,000 upgrade for that elevator. So that's gotta be funded, that's priority. And then next year, let's take a look at the envelope, because I can't fix everything in the building, but hey, if we can re-roof it, re-tuck and mortar the stones, it's great, let's do that. We gotta do a little bit, just take small bites
I agree.
and not spend. Because this committee historically has a habit of just funding stuff when somebody asks for money without asking what, where, why, and how.
So and I see that you got a copy of that sheet there that you sent to us on email that breaks down what each department's, that's the max level for each one of them at this time.
That was the 2021 audit all the way up to the 2026
Right.
first draft budget, yes.
Right.
And that wasn't every fund in the county. Those were really the major controllable funds, not things that are just passed through
Yeah.
or you have no control over.
So- And if we approve on this tonight, then we got till, I can't remember what the date was, till October.
Well, September 20th.
20th,
You
yeah,
have to have
right,
a
okay.
public hearing.
Yeah,
So really,
to dwindle it down.
it doesn't really matter what mill we recommend tonight. If it's not revenue neutral, then you have to have a public
Right,
hearing.
right, I know, yeah.
The problem is if we recommended lowering the mill, from 59.9 to 55.9, then we might not have an option on elevators and things like that. We might not have an option of building back cash reserves.
Right.
The 62.5 just leaves our options open. I think everybody's on the same page of we gotta do better,
So if we go revenue neutral now, we can't exceed, we have to
Correct.
stick to that. But if we don't go revenue neutral, we can always come down on the mill.
Correct. We could even go down to a revenue neutral rate
Right.
by September 20.
I say give us the leeway. I say, we still have months to work on this, make sense?
Right.
So I'm not for slicing my own wrist. I'm not for saying we'll go revenue neutral. Not that I don't want it, I want it.
Right.
I don't want people to have to pay taxes, but
Well, the danger of not going revenue neutral and setting a 62.5 maximum is that nobody will do the work.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And that's not gonna happen with the Budget Advisory Committee, nor with this commission that I sense.
No, because I don't want to be at 62.5 come September.
Well, I don't either.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're
I
gonna.
own property
we're
here too.
Gonna be tightening the belts as much as possible, so.
Sure.
Any other questions? No. Okay, questions from the,
You're mentioning the mill levy. What about the valuation from last year and the year before? How much has that gone up? Is the value, you're mentioning the mill levy, you're gonna multiply that times the valuation. What is the valuation change from last year?
It's just a little over $5 million, from 133 to 138,
higher this year, yeah.
correct.
The valuation is $5 million higher?
Yes.
And what was it the year before?
I don't know what it was the year before, so I don't have that information in front of me.
133.
So,
Well, 133 was,
so at revenue neutral, you would have, if the valuation is up 5 million, you would have to lower the mill levy to be from
Correct.
last year
correct,
to be revenue neutral.
correct.
You can't take the additional earnings.
So,
The assessed valuation 2 years ago was 119 million. Last year it was 133.
19, it was 22 was 119 million, it was not 119 million last year.
I didn't say last year, 133 last
She
year,
said 132 last year.
133.
so with that mill levy, what would it increase from the year before?
I mean, it's 62.5,
What was the mill levy last year?
59.9.
So at 59 point,
2.6.
5 times that for the increase that you couldn't take.
so you're gonna have, if you're revenue neutral, you would have an increase. No, not have an increase, but
We have a decrease.
Decrease in the mill, right.
We have to find ways to save money.
Huh?
We have to find ways to save money.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you know, some of these questions are good. We're gonna be having a public hearing,
Yeah.
because if we approve this, rate tonight, then we're gonna exceed revenue neutral in the beginning. So we're gonna have to have public hearings to,
We'll put the possibility out there to exceed.
Right.
That doesn't,
yeah.
But keep in mind, what revenue neutral means is only that you aren't going to stay the same. When you say not revenue neutral, that's two negatives, which becomes a positive. So don't be confused by what revenue neutral means.
oh, I'm not confused.
I don't think anybody in the room is confused about that.
Didn't we, one of the last commissioners said we had millions in reserve or millions in savings?
CD,
Huh?
CD. CD.
CDs,
Okay,
that's the bank, but
so. It's,
So you don't want it, because
you got one of two choices, Chairman.
you just say no.
That's what you got, you got one of two choices. Then where you go from that decision is up to the three of us on this table. And then where we cut is also up to us and all the department heads. Basically, what I'm saying, there's a buttload of work that needs to get done between now and September.
Right.
So, and then there's, just to throw it out there, you could do all the heavy lifting between now and September and we end up short and taxes are gonna go up. That's just the nature of this beast. I don't like it, I don't like hearing it.
They won't if we, yeah, they won't if we don't say that we're gonna exceed.
Well, people are gonna, I mean.
They
the-
can't.
Yeah, the departments are gonna be
They'll just have
coming
to
and
cut.
presenting those. I mean, we're gonna start
They've
looking at
presented
budgets.
them to
yeah.
Greg.
Huh?
They've presented.
Yeah.
So we'll start looking at those budgets and,
Yeah. Can I address the issue of the certificates of deposits? That is not savings. There's a lot of pass-through money that comes through this place. You know, close to $20 million comes through here. Some of that is static. It's not necessarily our money, it's pass-through. And so in order to be good stewards of the county's money, the money that's going to stick for a while, it goes into CDs, but it's not savings. It's money that it's temporarily ours. It might be a cash balance in Public Works. It might be, you know, the sinking fund in the mill levy. But we invest those excess funds in CDs in order to earn interest on those. But it's not savings. All that money is accounted for either in the budget or in pass-through money. It's not money that's just, wow, we've got all this excess money. We don't have excess money.
And that's what the clerk said last year.
and told them the year before too,
Yes, sir.
that we needed to be careful.
It's not like a home budget where if you've got $1 million CD, if I had $1 million CD, I'd feel pretty good. We shouldn't feel that good here.
I don't feel good at all. I mean, I don't feel good about even starting out at 62.5, but I understand why, and we need to start looking at it. So, I think,
We're gonna start
need
right
to-
away looking at it.
yeah, I mean, we need to start like even having, work sessions not on Mondays. I mean, you guys have to either, you know, either we do that or we do real busy Mondays.
So-
I mean, I don't know, I mean, my schedule is my schedule, I'm retired, you guys are not, so let's work that out, but we gotta start looking at these.
And Commissioner Milburn mentioned commissioners coming to our meetings, which would be advisable because Sam just articulated a priority, the elevator. We need to spend 100,000, especially when you start cutting back on budgets. That's when prioritization really comes in. What are our priorities? A budget is simply a spending priority. And when you decide to spend less, something's got to go. And you have all these things that are on the bubble, which things go? Well, perhaps and that's up to the commission. What's the priorities of the commission? You know, the 5-member advisory committee shouldn't be setting those priorities for the whole county. But so that's where the communication has to come in. You know, what is the priority order of some of these spendings that we're doing? And which ones do we cut first?
I would go, moving into the future, I would say we talk to all the department heads, or we put a memo out there for them, like, bring me your top 3 priorities, 3 only. Because otherwise you're gonna get 10. And as a department head, you should be able to whittle down to your top 3 priorities that you cannot function. You become mission ineffective if you lose those 3 top priorities. And then from those 3, you're gonna have to rack and stack them. Make sense? There's also, you know, Public Works may not get their top 3. They may not get their number 1, but they may get their number 2 or their number 3. Same thing with the clerk or whoever else.
Okay.
This needs to be signed by the commission before Wednesday.
I guess we probably need to make a motion on this to vote, so.
Before you do that, think about it longer. This sheet I passed out that compares counties. This is from as it says on the top, from the 2024 Kansas Statistical Abstract. The numbers are not 2024 numbers. They are the last year compiled by the University of Kansas. So for example, the census is 2020. So these are not all 2024 numbers. This was for comparison of the counties around us. That was the purpose of this, and that's how it should be used. I'm not on social media, but I understand that people were posting data off this on social media and using it incorrectly. And so this is simply for comparison between counties. And the years are consistent. Again, the 2020 census, there hasn't been a census since 2020, so this is 2020 numbers. So anyway, so that's how you use that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Should I retire while you vote?
You already retired.
Your work is just beginning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you,
Thank you
though.
very
I mean, we
much.
appreciate
Thank you.
the advisory committee. So, we'll start with this at the beginning, or at the top. I move that we,
Hang on. Before you do that.
you gonna do some math?
No. Did you have anything else to discuss? No. I don't either. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move that we extend the revenue neutral rate as proposed to 6.25, and we set a hearing date for,
You said 6.25, it would be 62.5.
62.5.
Yeah.
We'll set the hearing date for, when's the deadline on that?
September 20th.
September
you have a
20th,
public
sorry.
hearing way before the application, you'd have another.
Yeah. I'm saying quicker, sooner the better, because then we get to hear from the taxpayers exactly how they feel about it.
Do the 28th of July.
I'm good with that.
You might want to give the budget advisory committee more time to give you information, so
What would you recommend, sir?
I'd recommend like the third week in August, something like that.
So let's go August the 11th.
Whatever you guys decide. It's just, you're gonna get, the longer you wait, the better, the data you're gonna get from the budget advisory committee, we're just gonna have more time to, there's a lot to analyze. There's a lot,
Yes, sir.
a lot of moving parts.
I'm good with August 11th.
Okay. Public hearing on August 11th at 5:35. That's the motion.
Second.
Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn. Yes.
Do I sign here?
Just put in here, August 8th, 2025, that's what I put in.
Okay. Did we do it August 8th or August 11th?
Said 11. At 5:35.
That work?
Yep, perfect.
And then just sign here?
We can just sign under here and then
Oh.
it's on there.
Thank you.
Yeah, see it?
All right.
Yes.
Maybe this is the step in the right direction. Next on the list. Old business, fence viewing, says resolution, but it's actually procedure. That's me.
You changed the agenda.
Yeah.
Huh?
You did.
You changed the agenda to a 5.5 executive session.
It's supposed to
Oh,
be-
that's right, okay, thank you. So I move that we recess to executive session. Let me find my paperwork here. Pursuant to KSA 754319B1 to discuss personnel matters of individual non-elected personnel to protect their privacy. Commissioner Milburn, how long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. We'll return
Can we
here.
round it up to 30, because we always seem to run short?
Okay.
30 minutes. We'll report back here at 6:49.
Second.
Two seconds.
Second.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn, Beerbauer.
Yes,
Who's all going into this meeting?
be the three of us.
Okay.